Everybody, my name is Dry Banana Bread and welcome back to Night Call. I think I came into a realization of something, but I don't remember who. I remember hearing about a 10-year-old football player who had a chance but didn't work out too well. And I think it's him. Someone spoke on him and I don't remember who. So let me look at the past decks because I could have sworn someone spoke on it. Um, Someone spoke on a young player, and I'm trying to remember who it is. Uh, how is he not in here? All right, it's time to go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Sleep. I remember someone mentioning about a 10-year-old, but didn't make it. With heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You lie down on the sofa bed. Its frames creaks. Day runs through your head. Streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you're in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. Glance at your investigation board. Wish they were far away from here. Far, far away from here. Shake your head and with your mind wanders for a second. Question comes to mind. A very odd one. So odd you need to say it out loud to be sure you're not dreaming. Was that really Santa Claus? You lie there for a moment listening to the echo of your own voice resonating around the apartment. Silent lulls you to sleep. You gotta start putting out those cigarettes, Pa. Fine. I'm scared. I'm scared because I hope I get this right. I don't want to fail this. But I'm not. Open one eye. That badly. I have to understand how that's even possible. Get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. This may be the final night. Alright. One person I have to see. I have to see him. I already see him letting. Anyone else I have to see? Just him. I have to see him. I have to see him immediately and get gas right after this. The fact that they weren't popping up as much gets me so mad, but that's my fault because I'm too drunk to drive. You pull up front of the address the central office gave you. Crepe joint. Quite popular one. It looks like it's line spilling out the door into the sidewalk. You sit a moment. The door opens and a group of 30-somethings come into view. All men and women dressed alike. Sporty running shoes, jeans, small shoulder bags. They're officers from Paris anti-crime squad in plain clothes. You sigh. They're brutish types. Ones who like to race, tackle, clobber. Ones who like to ruin afternoons you spent wandering around Paris in your teens. After a bit, you pull one of them away from the group and one comes over to your taxi. He opens the door and collapses to the back seat. He's a stocky, an Asian descent. You see his muscles through his thick winter coat. He smells like crepes. Hard cider in his face, bright red. Hey, what's up? At Denny's. He chuckles as one of his colleagues rushes over to the taxi and pulls an imaginary gun from his coat. He points his badge and screams at you with a big smile on his face. What a douchebag. The other cop eventually backs up and you drive away. Sorry, man. We're having a go away party for my colleague and celebrating Christmas too. No worries. Passenger smiles and puts a finger back into his templates. Drank too much. Shit. I'm a lightweight and they know it. I think they're trying to loosen my tongue. Behavior changes abruptly like he sees some ghost. One question. Yeah? Taxi drivers have some sort of policy or ethics code? Yeah, of course. Smiles. Perfect. Because I don't know who to talk to about this and I don't know. You look like a nice guy. He takes his hand off his head. His head off in his hands. Fucking shit. I've been lying to my colleagues for years. I joined the squad 8 years ago and they all think I'm some relationship with a woman who lives in Strasbourg. That's where we're going to get married. Makes a strange yelping noise, like an air bubble bursting on the surface of a river. As soon as they get too close to Strasbourg, I start making up stories. almost broken up 10 times. I convinced them we're trying to have a kid, but it hasn't worked out yet. Size. Fuck. Saying it out loud just makes it work. Eyes are getting shiny. Okay. Deep breath. Getting married in a few weeks to my boyfriend. Another breath. Longer. No one at work knows. Not a soul. Next sentence comes out in the rush. Holds his breath the whole time. I like men. Always liked men. But I work in a police station and you listen to their comments, to their jokes all day long. When we catch a guy who's never done time before, we tell him briefly what we should expect. Talk about the violence, about the... Finally he breathes again. I say we because I'm in on it. Because I could say time of the day without... Should I have said that? I'm not against that. I'm going to... Okay. Future me, bleep that out. Without any prompting. The word rolls off my tongue completely, naturally. A bundle of sticks. He finally looks at you in the eye. They're not mean. No, say nothing, say nothing. They're cops, not mean. Doing the job, we. He manages to flash a tiny crook smile. You know what I really like? Pauses. I like to have them all over for dinner. Everybody on the squad. To see my place. Play board games, something normal, you know? They could meet James. Your husband to be? It's taking a moment to think about your question. Yes, do. Smiles at last, a genuine smile. Can you believe it? Getting married in 2 weeks. After living together for 9 years. For 9 years. Been willing to live in a lie. Does he understand? It's wild, but yeah. He knows I love my job and I couldn't possibly do anything else. He loves me enough to let me keep lying. He slowly shakes his head. But I can't go on like this. I have to. Freezes. Shit, my head is spinning. Feels so good. Why am I telling you all this? Why? He grabs onto the seat in front of him. Hey, can you pull over? You stop immediately. He opens the door and leans off half his body out. Throws up. He opened the window, let some air. The greasy fry creeps out and a sour scent of cider. A moment later, the cop sits back. Okay, I'm all set. I got it all out now. Start driving. Sorry. Really? Alright. Yeah. Hate it all. Sausage parties. Cheap alcohol. Eyes. Nod while your passenger moans and quietly says, sorry. Careful. He pauses to catch his breath. Shit, I haven't barked like that since last Easter. Maybe drink this South African liquor. Something with cream and cocoa. Nasty. I can still picture it. I was doing shots while they were shouting my name. Karate Kid. Karate Kid. That was very weird. Let him continue. Rough night. Just closed the case. Groans. You glance at the rearview mirror. Okay? Everything's spinning again. Kid, you pull over. I repeat it last time. He opens the door and leans his head out and torso in his arms. Sound makes your stomach turn, so you stare straight ahead. And can I ask you a question? More puke on the sidewalk, a little inside the vehicle. Go ahead. Fine, shoot. He sits up, prompts you to drive. So here goes. What should I do? Did I keep on going on? Keep on keeping on. Oh yeah. Did I confess? Did I invite them to my wedding and surprise them? Pauses. The long one. Be straight with me. What would you do if you were me? You were in my shoes. I think you're being hard on yourself. You're hurting yourself rather than try to solve the problem. You're not going to change your sexual orientation or leave your husband. There aren't a ton of alternatives. Tell them. Tell them. Wow. Gotta tell them. He looks at you in the mirror. Can you take me somewhere else if you don't mind? I don't mind. My colleagues are at a bar. I'll go see them. Tell them everything. If you don't do it now, then I'll never do it. A smile really spreads across his face. It's not just the alcohol talking. Yes. I think it's about the 10th time I've gotten wasted this month. You're right. Hurting myself. Gives you a new address. I need to tell them now. I feel terrible, but I think I'll feel better if I speak directly to them. His headache is apparently back, and he has knocked them out a bit. You're used to having drunk people in your cab. Actually, majority of the Saturday night is just drunk passengers. I don't know how to tell them about all this. The tone of his voice, you can tell he's beginning to panic. I don't think I'm ready. Nothing. Passenger stares at you, stare hard at you. You can tell his silence is giving him doubts. I want to go to the bar. He seems determined despite his shaky voice. Want to tell them about James. You're about to say something when he cuts you off. My mind is made up. His smile briefly, and you turn back towards the bar. For the remainder of the trip, your passenger is silent. Time to time, he massages his temple. Headache is persistent. He sees you watch him in the rearview mirror. He raises his hand. Things fine. It's cool. He smiles like someone slowly sobering up. Worriness replacing the alcohol. Stress taking over the giddiness. Stop the car. Your passenger waits a second. Then all of a sudden, he just woke up. He realizes you're at the bar. Ready? Yeah. He pays for his fare, but is frozen in place. Piece of advice? How you feel? Yes. Right. Yes. Right. You know each other well enough. Should understand. In any case, flashes you a grin. Thank you. I don't quite remember what I said, but thank you. He jumps out the taxi so quickly you think someone kicked him in the ass. You follow his stocky finger with your gaze. Stocky finger in the gaze, he goes into looks at the friends and waves. Drive off. I don't believe it's him. There's no way it's him. I do not believe it's him. I just think he's a man who's gay, who has. Do I have enough for Harv? Claudia is known as hi. Only a mile? Okay, that's I can do. It's hard if he greets you with a bizarre verbal tick as usual. Damn Coda. Hi Harv. Start the engine. I see he's having us those day. In the rearview mirror, you watch him run his tongue to his lips, just mentally preparing you for a good meal. Catches your eye and smiles. Sorry about a bit of it today. So I see. I had a bad week, you know? Really bad week. And yesterday, he hesitates as if he can't believe he's about to say like it's too good to be true. Lines around the corner of his eyes to show a real age, crinkly slightly. I give a little laugh. Serious, man. I don't believe in God, you know? I don't believe in all that bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. Some guy with a beard up in the sky. I never got it. People sawing him. Anyhow, God. None of us believe in him on the street. Guys crinkling up in the corners again. I mean, we believe when there's a soup kitchen goes to the church. Yeah, sure, we believe him in then. Flashes his teeth and lets out a harsh, raspy laugh. Pause. Nothing. The right continues the silence. Hurd keeps his eye fixed on the passing street. Suddenly, he slaps his thigh. Well, damn, I forgot what I wanted to tell you, pal. Laugh. His eyes light up all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, yesterday. Talking faster now. An insistent flow. I was starving, man. It was pretty bad. Toby and I had gone through the garbage bins in the neighborhood. Toby, he's this German guy. He says he prefers France. They were more generous here. I was starving. Eyes tear up. Voice drops off. A fair look comes to us over him. A lengthy pause. You okay, Harv? He snaps out of it. Yeah, like I was saying that, yeah, I was starving. I was hanging out near the supermarket in the Rue Ramos. Fancy neighborhood, but not too fancy. No cops. He gives you a wink. But that's always a plus. And then there was like this guy. I sometimes see around, a young guy. Like a kid, he'd come out of the supermarket with groceries, and before I even said a word, he hands me a can of cassoulet. Big as a beach ball. Our face lights up. I didn't even know they made them that big. Harv burst out laughing, and his eyes wanders back to the street. Smile. Her suddenly pats you on the shoulder. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna get out of here if you don't mind. You park the cab as soon as you see an empty space. Thanks, man. He's looking out the window. Yeah, I think that's him. Ooh. Nothing. But a word, he opens the door and gets out. This time I'm gonna get him. It might be Harv. A moment later, he vanishes into a dark alley. Sit there a minute. Your eye scans the dark, narrow street, but you can't make anything out. Then something moves in the distant silhouette, probably Harv. Now at a run. The form darts underneath the street lamp. It's hard, holding something in his hand. He immediately vanishes inside. You sit there a minute and then switch the ignition to pull out the spark. What do you mean by you hit the suspension to pull out the parking spot? What do you mean by that? So mad right now. Killing me, Harv. Killing me. Yeah. Direct pump, mini mark, cells. Yeah. Jesus, was it Harv? The clerk behind the counter is undoubtedly the most ordinary person you've ever seen. Can I help you? I guess Purdue means I lost. Serial killer business is crazy. Clerk cuts you off, pointing an angry finger at the newspaper on display in front of him. Have you seen how much the police suck at catching him? Smile, let him keep talking. Okay. Please come back. And the clerk is still in the middle of a sentence when you leave the shop. That's fucked up. That's not nice. Is there anybody of importance here? Read the paper. Police leaks incident that reached 2 years. A bunch of confidential police departments were released. Intriguing. Turn the page and you stop. You read about a third. Reading. Stop and reading. Go about a few pages though. You saw something. 2 lines. Funny anecdote. Manager Santa Claus. He was only never really stated he didn't know what he had gotten there. Third left to read. I remember picking him up. Get their page. He tells you to look at. Short, rather article explains the 200 American style coffee houses just open in Paris. Regrets to the returns of the real authentic bistros. You sigh, shut the paper, and throw in the trash tonight. Remember, it is otherwise just spend the license department. Around. Damn, I haven't seen Claudia in a... Oh. This guy up. My back's itchy. Oh my god, my back's so itchy. Airport. Okay. I think that's the man who was supposed to marry the woman. That's when he went to the airport. Get out the cab, you pick up the suitcase, which must weigh 400 kilos. Jesus, that's a lot of weight. Put it in the trunk. You get back with your passenger close on your heels. The door slams shut, you turn the key ignition, and you look up at your passenger. Charles, they got up, right? Nods, and you start driving. Still pretty early to be close to this plane. He must be the type that likes to get there well ahead of time. Japanese, Chinese, you're not sure. You smile. Tourists always have such a thing with magical image of Paris. There's almost no traffic and you're able to drive at decent speed. Behind you, the rearview mirror, you can see the tip of the Eiffel Tower start to appear. Saying goodbye. He narrows his eyes, he doesn't understand. You point at the Eiffel Tower behind you. Eiffel Tower? Smirks. His tone leads you to believe that he thinks it's ugly. You don't like it? He keeps staring at you with an annoyed expression. He obviously doesn't understand. His voice is frank with a dose of exhaustion. I don't know what that means. Okay, it's Japanese, you're sure now. He's probably telling me like he murdered like 5 people. He imitates the sound of the plane taking off. You'd think you may have recognized the name of the airport. Airport? Airport. He nods. He turns away so vehemently. You understand he wants to be left in peace. He wants to calm and silence. You hear him mumbling to himself. His voice is deep and heavy. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Which is, I mean... Take a short pause to swallow his spit. There's gonna be someone out there that knows what he's saying. But I don't know what he's saying. Nothing. Just let him talk. I don't know what he's saying, just let him talk. The tone of the voice makes you think he's making a list of all the things he's hated. Very angry man. Mumbles on and on. Shenji. Made that sound before. Third time. You immediately recognize the word. Sally's? Or Sally's. Burst out laughing. I don't know what he's saying, and that's like if you know what he's saying, just tell me down below what he's saying, because I have no idea what the hell he's saying. He glances at you. You don't understand. You get the impression he wants wants you to repeat what he's saying. He nods. I don't know what he's saying. It's crazy. He falls back to his seat, his eyes closed. He doesn't want to speak to you anymore. I had a passenger who didn't speak French before, but this one seems furious. Maybe he didn't like Paris. Maybe he prefers Tokyo. Smile. For just a second, you can imagine yourself as a taxi driver in Tokyo. This is men well-dressed like high schoolers. Well-dressed high schoolers. Those Japanese mobsters. What are they called again? I'll just leave. You keep driving. Think about the movie you saw during the day of the hospital stay. Black American soldier on the run. Starts hanging out with some sort of bum. A huge jazz fan. It was a singular movie. Incredible. Made a real impression on you. The title was... No, you can't remember the title. How could you possibly describe it to your passenger? Possible. Shame you can't speak his language. But a shame not to understand him. Not people to talk to him about it. Sigh. Maybe later. You'll have the time to learn Japanese. It's probably hard. Same alphabet. Same letters. But then again, your parents could read Arabic and write in French. So you could... Yes. Later you'll have time. And then here you are at the airport. A heap of ramps and tunnels bring you to the drop-off zone. Pull up to the stop and your client wakes up. Notices the airport. Few taxis, your own fatigue. He starts talking peacefully in a soft voice. I feel like he murdered everyone and he's telling me this. What are you saying? He shakes his head. I'll just say okay. He pays his fare with a twinge of shame. Get out of the taxi to help him with his suitcase, to get out of the trunk. He's a ton. Thanks you with a sad look at the feet. Grabs onto your sleeve as if to try to get you back in your car. You nod very slowly. He looks you over slowly from head to toe. When he starts speaking, his voice is monotone and completely void of emotion. I don't know what that means. Something inside you resonates like you understood what he just said. 19. 19-year-old. There was a 19-year-old victim. He lost someone, his wife maybe. He looks upset. 19. There was... Wait a minute. The jogger of the cop was 19. Only you can understand him. So... Okay. So, pushing a floor waxer across the tiles, just heating up the vents. The driver waves as you leaving out the drop-off zone. Plane, maybe the first one of the day, appears in the sky. Get back in your taxi. In a minute, you rub your free hands together, warm them up. A few seconds before driving off. Okay, so one of the victims of the first cop, that he's a suspect, said that one of the cases was a 19-year-old girl who died. Was raped and everything. I wonder if he's the one telling me that he's done something, but he doesn't know how to say it. I don't even have that much gas. Okay, good. Okay, I got scared. I thought like I need to pick him up. I need to pick up one more person, because if today's the last episode, then I'm broke. Nah, man. Ain't going home yet, pa. Ain't going home yet. Pick this guy up. Do this. I never got the case again. Yeah, lawyer. He never popped back up. Surprisingly. Even though I already spoke to him. As usual. Oh, pa. He could probably tell me today he killed somebody. Recognize the next passenger, you're getting a cop, the detective. Your suspect. That's how I look about him. Not just because it's early, it's voice drags. Usual place. St. Louis Hospital then. You start driving. You notice right away that the passenger is very cold. Very cold. In fact, he's shivering and chattering his teeth. You start driving, but keep an eye on him. Turn up the heat. He flashes a crooked smile. That's really not necessary. Thanks, though. I'm not cold, it's my medication. Pretty bizarre side effect. 1 minute I'm hot, next I'm cold. Not much fun, really. It was one for my own good. Face says otherwise. He's quite convinced. Actually, maybe it is the cold. It hasn't been cold in ages. 82, I think. 83, maybe. Almost in a whisper, he adds, the year of the tiger. And he's the year of the tiger? He's smiling now, but continues shivering ever so slightly. No. The year we hunted the tiger down in Paris. Nothing to do with the Chinese. It's really a nice story, actually. Well, maybe nice isn't the right word. You'll see. And it'll get my mind off of things. He has a nervous laugh and clearly uncomfortable problem, not used to appearing fragile. It was late December. The weather was crap. Never been so cold in my life. The water in the fountains, the gutters was frozen. At the office, most of my colleagues were sick, stuck in bed. I was sick too, but I was new, so I sucked it up and I was blowing my nose every 5 minutes. My nose was red. Breathing reeked of cough drops. We all looked like we were about to keel over. The switchboard phone rang and no one answered. I sighed, got up, picked up the phone. The woman screamed in my ear. A tiger. She had seen a tiger, orange and black, big as a motorcycle, and the Rue de Buki. I burst out laughing. I told her it was a good prank and hung up. I said a minute later the phone rang, second line too, then the one in the chief's office. He points to a different area of the car as if he can still hear the phones ringing. A tiger. Really big one. Rue de Buki. Rue de Seine. Rue des Brux Arts. Passenger rubs his chin, seemed deep in thought. We were starting to think something fishy was going on, so we got on the move. We grabbed our coats and scarves. One of the guys in the squad called their brother-in-law who works at the zoo in Vincentiers. Besides, outside it was snowing buckets, huge flakes the size of the gear shift over here. We were off better on foot. When we got to St. Michael, we walked down the Bois des Grands, Augustines, knocking on doors. The people we talked about wanted to talk to us, take their word for it. They swore they seen a tiger. They were dead serious. We walked the streets, the snow was slowing, only Barry. He looks at you. I'm sure you're familiar with that moment in the middle of the night. Paris is completely quiet. God. It's incredible that the city just stops for a moment. Yeah. Well, just like that. Utter and total calm. Absolute silence. The team broke up into pairs. We checked the alleys and passageways. Back then, the neighborhood was like Swiss cheese with nooks and crannies all over. Garages built without permits. It wasn't the highbrow neighborhood as it is today. It heaves a sigh. He seemed sad. Went into the narrow street because my partner thought he saw paw prints. He was right. There was snow all over the dumpster on the roof of the garage and the building's balconies. Tiger had climbed up there, so we followed. We pulled out our weapons and started after the footprints. Dumpster, garage roof, balconies. My partner was huffing and puffing. Huge puffs of steams were escaping from his mouth. Your passenger snickers. He stopped and told me that we must look like ancestors, like prehistoric men wielding flint spears. We couldn't stop laughing. We knew how stupid we must have looked. Got out on top of the roof. Tiger was there. Damn, that was a shock. It was a magnificent beast, almost 2 meters in size, maybe more. Took our breath away. The tiger looked at us. There was fear in his eyes. He was shaking. We realized we screwed up. We never should have come. But if attacked, we had to kill it. Neither of us wanted to kill it after seeing it. He stared at us. Paris was utterly calm. Snow as far as the eyes could see. White skyline. Then, the passenger pauses. He closes his eyes slowly. Something in his voice cracks. He jumps off the roof. It was remarkable. Moment of silence. He's still shivering. Say nothing. It's funny. Really shaken up about talking about it. Chest is tight. Passenger needs a few seconds before going back to his story. You get the impression he's still shaking as much as when he gets in. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. We learned as far as we could to pull out the roof and look below. It looked like he was asleep, lying comfortably in the snow. A giant orange-black spot on the feather bed. He watches the street go by and the hospital is closed now. Up next, paperwork. Lots of paperwork. The sound really took to its heart. Huge blow to morale. And one of us had killed him. That we had lost one of our own. His hands go to his eyes as if he was checking for tears. It was just a tiger. He closed his eyes and heaves a huge sigh. Just a tiger. Park in front of the hospital. Passenger suddenly speaks up. His voice sounds more confident than before. I think I'd do just what that tiger did. His death seems so calm and gentle. It can't hurt too much to fall into a huge bed of feathers. I don't believe he did it. I just don't believe he did it. I'm sorry. In the rearview mirror, the police inspector seems oddly small, as if he had shrunk during the ride. Seriously, can't hurt that much. He hands you the money and gets out the cab. Watch him walking out without saying a word. Sliding doors at the entrance hospital take far too long to open. Drive away. Okay, that was pretty good. Take my ass home. Figure out what the hell's going on. I've met him. The gay guy who now I have to edit saying a word. I don't mind. That's a disgusting word and it should never be used. Oh, I got scared. I thought it was broke. I was like, wait a minute, am I broke now? Why is there so much money per week? Take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. Making the walls shake, you sigh. Yeah, it's not him. Definitely. First 3 victims' files. Why would I pin that on him? Like, it's she has the most because she's from there. And he's just a homeless guy. He's literally just a homeless guy. I think it was Claudia Campos. I really do think it was Claudia Campos. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Long episode, very long episode. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you all for watching. I thought this would be the last episode, but I guess not. So, on to the next one. Unless, I don't know, unless I get a phone call. But matter of fact, let's see. If we start the night, we'll just finish it. Phone rings. There we go. Yep, I knew it. The moment of truth. Hello? Hi. Ice cold. He's alongside. There's no background noise. You must not be at the station. Where are you? Oh, let me say nothing. Good. Listening. What do you got for me? Clears her throat. Voice sounds louder, more confident. Obviously, I'm thrilled, but certainly do not want to put too much pressure on you. You almost hear her smirk as she must be wearing. You lay the receiver down on the table. Now you have to decide. Okay, it's not him. I want to say because he got hurt. But she's from the process. But he got hurt. It's so hard. Because look, because shits. Okay. Killer fought with victim 3. You know what the thing is? The time is up. Is from Argentina. Got health issues after the health scandal. Couple arrests for. Don't know who to pick. I don't know. She has a motive, but he has a lot against her because that he went to go attack somebody. I don't. There was a homeless man by the. I'm gonna pick. Why? How the evidence? Your sources? She does this without saying a word. Finished talking, she remains silent for just a second or two. You sense she's not convinced. Listen, you're sure of what you're saying. Because between what you told me this morning, what you're saying now, something's not right. Sure this is the suspect you want to pursue. Wait a minute. Put the phone down. She's right. You're not sure. It has to be her. Pick up the phone. You explain your choice. She cuts you off. Okay, we'll follow this lead. I'm going to see what I can do at all. Okay. He heaves a huge sigh. Shit, I hope for your sake it works. I hope so too. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's going to hang up on such a positive note. Probably going to. Might be your last night of freedom. Fuck, I knew it. She snickers and hangs up. Put the phone down. You might as well be standing on ice cold emptiness in outer space. Gotta go back to bed. Best way to kill time. Oh, I can't even leave it there. This is the last episode. I have to keep going on. I have to. The events of the day through your head. The streets, passenger faces, the problems. Why go to jail? So nervous. Open one eye. Had a hard night. Restless. You get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. Fragments of a dream are still lingering. Weird music made you climb onto the roof. Found Percent of her whole squad there right above your head. That was fucking scary. Get up quickly to forget all that. Minutes later, out of your studio. So what happens? You exit your place to see Percent leaning against your cab. Waves at you to get in. Get in. Alec creep takes in your mouth. Please tell me I got it right. When I had a deal. Nod painfully. The intel you gave me was total crap. Clearly I should have not trusted you. Her voice sounds totally dissonant, rumbling. You're coming with me to the station and we're going to talk about what'll happen next. Like a storm, a tempest that destroys everything in its path. Everything. Believe me, the DA is dying to meet. What'll happen next, she'll drag you to the station, blame you for everything. Everyone seems to believe everything she says, all the evidence she has. False. Next day, your face is covered all over the newspapers. Your name is on everyone's lip. You are the killer everyone has been waiting for. Fucked. Fucked. Should have gone with my gut. Should have gone. I should have gone with my gut. I should have gone with my gut. I should have gone with my gut. I knew it was. Should have gone with my gut. Is there? Let me see something. Got a name. Perfect. I'm listening. Come on. I don't care. I feel like I know for it's Claudia Campos. Claudia Campos. Claudia Campos. Claudia Campos. She has the most reasoning too. If it's not, then I have to make a new play. She snickers and hangs up. You put the phone down. You might as well be standing on ice emptiness. You decide to go to bed. All right, go to sleep. Slide it open the sofa. Yep. Your passenger's brain. You can tell you need more sleep. As an investigating board, decide what you think. Just a few hours, it might be over. If the answers, Busset will have her arrest. Paris will be peaceful again. But what about you? What do you'll do? Shake your head and I feel like I got the right one because black shadow creeps out from your mouth and bangs loudly on the floor. You wake with a start. Fucking nightmare. There's nothing there. You lie back down, still shaking. Okay, this is good so far. This is different. This is different. In my gut, to be fair, if this is correct, I'm good. You had a hard night, restless. You get the impression you ate 5 years in a matter of hours. You get up quickly. 3 minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Good so far. Good. Not like before where it says the cops were all there waiting for me. You exit your place, you see Busset leaning up against a cab. He waves at you to get in. You get in, the metallic taste creeps into your mouth. You and I had a deal. Painfully. Well, that is I failed. I think I suck at government jobs. So that's that. Last call. I'll probably play it again. Yeah, I'm gonna play it again. If anything, you'll probably catch me on stream playing this. This is part of those detective games. I've actually finally made a schedule. Link will be in the banner of my YouTube page. Click it. Head on over to my Twitch channel where I finally made a schedule. And yeah, I suck at detect night calls. The game is. I'm so mad with myself. I should have picked up more people than the homeless people. Thank you all for coming. If the series continues, there'll be one-offs, but until then, maybe I might do another. There's 3 more investigations. I might end up doing it. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.